And now it's time for Key Points!
And this is your favorite part of our lesson. We are going to be looking at key points. And we're going to start by reading a passage entitled Getting Around. Now, you know in your key points, we have to highlight the title and we highlight our bold words. So we have tamed, discovery, comfort, attached, invented, and it looks like it's saying engines, and I believe we found all of our bold words. Okay, in key points, we also identify the paragraphs. So this one right here, we're going to say is a paragraph. We have a paragraph here, a paragraph here. Okay, going to come up, paragraph here, and a paragraph here. Okay, and that looks like all of our paragraphs. Okay, let's set our purpose for reading. The subject is combined, so that means that it could be math, it could be science, it could be history, it could be English language arts. And the theme is transportation. So I get my mind ready to know that I'm going to be reading something about transportation. About the passage, people have always moved from place to place on the earth, but the ways they have moved themselves and their belongings have changed many times. As you read this passage, notice how the writer organizes her information. Oh, that's important. So we're going to notice how the writer organizes her information. How does she tell you about the different methods of transportation? Okay, so that's a question that's being posed that we are going to answer. So let's put that question in pink. Okay, so I'll put that in pink. How does she tell you about the different methods of transportation? Okay, does she tell you A, talks about transportation in different countries, B, she tells us how methods of transportation have changed over the years, C, she tells a story, or D, she compares the best and worst things about different ways of traveling. So we're not sure which way, and we are going to read and find out. Okay, so our title is Getting Around. Paragraph 1. Okay, let's go. Many times this must have been said over the years, but how many different ways men, women, and children have traveled from one place to another? We know that that is our intro. So let's say that that is our intro. Okay. All right, and now let's pick up our pencil tool here. Note to replace and underline text. Okay, so let's come back here. If you want, you can write intro using whatever tool that you have on your device. So I'm going to do text and I'm going to do writing. Paragraph 2. People first traveled, and of course still do, on their own 2 feet. Later, people tamed animals and rode them. They used many different kinds of animals, such as oxen, camels, and elephants. The animals people rode most often, however, belong to the horse family, which includes horses, donkeys, and mules. Wow, that paragraph contained a lot of information. The author introduced it with a topic sentence. People first traveled, and of course still do, on their own 2 feet. So that was the first form of transportation. So we have a number here. We have first and their own 2 feet. And then later, people tamed animals and rode them. They used different kinds of animals. Now we have a list of things, such as oxen, camels, and elephants. The animals people rode most often, however, belong to the horse family, which includes horses, donkeys, and mules. Okay, so we have a horse family. So let's see. This whole paragraph is pretty much telling us that people went from walking on their own 2 feet to actually using animals, and then it boiled down to specific animals. So we're just going to say animals. So put animals here. And we can also use our text tool. And we can say animals, animals. Okay, and I wonder if it'll let me make it a little bit bigger. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay, let's go back. Let's turn the text tool off here. Let's pick up the hand tool and see if it'll let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so we have animals. That was paragraph 2. Now we're ready for paragraph 3. Next, men and women built wagons that they attached to the animals so more people could travel at one time. This was a big step forward. Why? Because it was the first time people used a wheel. Oh, this is kind of giving me a little bit more history because now people are inventing things. So let's highlight. We have men and women built wagons. So that's a type of invention. And they did that so that more people could travel at one time. This was a big step forward because it was the first time people used a wheel. So we got the invention of a wagon and a wheel so that more people could be transported. So let's write inventions. We got some inventions here. I'm running out of space in inventions. And we'll go ahead and type some text. We'll say, I can't see. Inventions. Oh, what the heck just happened? Wait, I have no idea what just happened. Get out of there. Go. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can make it bigger. Inventions. Okay. All right, inventions. Now, paragraph 4. The discovery of the wheel made traveling much easier. The first wheel was not very well made, but after the years, it has been improved. Oh, I misread that. But over the years, it has been improved. Today, our automobiles move along the highways with speed and comfort. So this is kind of giving me how cars came about. It's kind of like an evolution story. So we got the discovery of the wheel made traveling much easier. So we have the first wheel. So first wheel was not very well made, but over the years it has been improved. And now we have today our automobiles. So we go from humans walking on their own 2 feet to using tamed animals, to using wagons and wheels, to now using automobiles. So this looks like the wheel has really enhanced travel. So we're going to put wheel here. And thanks to the wheel, we have automobiles. And our last paragraph. Another way men and women have traveled has been on water. Early people made rivers their highways by floating down them on boats made from trees. Soon oars and sails were developed. These enabled the boats to go against the flow of the rivers. Later, as people became more clever, they invented engines, which made sailing against the river much easier. They also used these engines on land, and after that, to fly into the air. Now, men and women have made rockets to explore a new world, outer space. Wow, so it looks like paragraph 5, which is our conclusion, has this part and this part. So we're going to put conclusion, Okay. And I'm going to type it just in case we can't read it too well. Conclusion. Okay. In that concluding paragraph, we learned a lot. So we have another way that men and women, so we got men and women, have traveled has been on water. So in the conclusion, we're not only talking about vehicles for the land, but now we're going to be looking at vehicles for water. It says early people made rivers their highways, by floating down them on boats made from trees. And then they invented oars and sails. So those were developed, and these enabled boats to go against the flow of water. So that improved the form of transportation on water. Later, as people became more clever, they invented engines, which made sailing against the river much easier. Wow, so now we have the invention of engines. So we have engines for cars and now engines for boats. And that made sailing against the river much easier. Much like in this paragraph, where automobiles came along, which improved the way that we travel and gave us comfort. Well, now we can easily travel on water. They also use these engines on land. And after that, to fly. Oh, now we're conquering the air. So we have walking on land, traveling by sea, and now traveling in the sky. Now, men and women have made rockets to explore a new world. Ooh, and that new world is outer space. Wow, I learned a lot there. Okay. You did a terrific job reading that. And so now let's look at the thinking it over. Give 3 methods of transportation that the writer talked about. Oh, okay. So one of the methods the writer talked about was 2 feet, using tamed animals such as oxen, camels, and elephants. Also animals from the horse family, which was horses, donkeys, and mules. And then the author also talked about using wagons, because that was a way that more people could travel. So thanks to the wheel, we went from wagons to automobiles. And then with the discovery of boats, we were able to use rivers as our highways. So now we have boats. And then we have flying in the air. And we have going into the new world. But the author didn't mention that specifically. But the three methods of transportation specifically could be a boat, it could be animals, it could be feet, it could be any of those. Now, what were the two most important discoveries that made transportation easier, faster, and more comfortable? So we have two most important discoveries. We saw that in our readings that made transportation easier, faster, more comfortable. Well, we noticed up here, we got comfort in the fourth paragraph, and we said that was about the wheels. So the discovery of the wheels. Okay, so let's put that there. Let's put that there. We're going to say wheels. Okay, that was one. And then the other important discovery, let's see, we read it here. Oh, later, as people became more clever, they invented engines. And there's our word easier. So we have wheels and we have engines. I'm going to use this one. Engines. Oops. So those were the two most important discoveries. All right, now let's do studying the passage. Find the main idea. Choose one. Animals are used in transportation. Wheels made traveling much easier. Transportation has improved through the ages. Space travel is the latest thing. Now, what was this passage mostly about? Animals were used in transportation. Well, it talked about it, but it wasn't mostly about that. So, oops, I'm going to mark that off. Wheels made traveling much easier. Well, yeah, it did talk about that too, but it was not mostly about wheels. So that's probably not the best answer. Transportation has improved through the ages. Well, yes, it did talk about man beginning on his or her own 2 feet and then conquering space. So that probably is a good answer. Let's keep that as a possibility. Space travel is the latest thing. Well, it did talk about space travel, but that was not what the majority of the article was about. So the best answer is C. Now we're going to do true or false. Mark each one as true or false. T for true, F for false. A. The first form of travel was walking. True or false? That was true. Let's look back because it said right here in paragraph 2, people first traveled, and of course still do, on their own 2 feet. So that is true. B. People tamed animals to improve transportation. Let's see if that's right. I remember them talking about taming animals up in paragraph 2, animals. And it says, people tamed animals and rode them. People tamed animals to improve transportation. Well, I guess that's true because people use different types of animals. So that would be true. So it improved from them walking on their own 2 feet to actually being able to use different inventions with the animals. C. Camels are the most frequently used transport animal. Let's see, did the author say that? In our animals paragraph, paragraph 2, it says, People first traveled, and of course still do, on their own 2 feet. Later, people tamed animals and rode them. They used many different kinds of animals, such as oxen, camels, and elephants. Oh, there's camels. The animals people rode most often, however, belonged to the horse family. Oh, so it says right here, most often were animals from the horse family. So if we come down here, camels are the most frequently used transport? No, that is false. It was animals from the horse family. D. The wheel was a very significant discovery. Oh, I think that's true because in this paragraph 4 talked about the wheel and it says, the discovery of the wheel made traveling much easier. The first wheel was not very well made, but over the years it has been improved. What is this? It says discovery, but it doesn't say significant. But I think that that is true because people without the wheel would not be able to have automobiles and other forms of transportation that use the wheel. So yes, the wheel was a very significant discovery. Significant. What does significant mean? Well, if we look up significant, let's see.
Significant. Significant.
Significant. Use the adjective significant to describe something that is important. Ah, yes, the wheel was very important. So yes, I would agree that it is significant. Sailboats were first used on canals. Now, I don't know if the author even mentioned that. Let's see. In paragraph 5, the author talked about rivers being highways. Let's see. These enabled the boats to go against the flow of the rivers. Later, as people became more clever, they invented engines. Okay. The author didn't mention anything about that. Sailboats were first used on canals. So I'm going to say false because the only thing that the author said that kind of gives us a clue is that early people made rivers their highways by floating down them on boats made from trees. So she didn't mention anything about canals or sailboats. So it's probably a different kind of boat, maybe a canoe. The invention of engines improved transportation. Oh, I believe that's true because in the last paragraph, the author talked about invented engines, which made sailing against the river much easier. They also used these engines on land. And after that, to fly. So absolutely, the invention of engines improved transportation. That is true. Okay, now find the order. Which came first? People invented the wheel. People invented engines to be able to move faster. People walked. People learned to fly into the air. People tamed animals to aid transportation. Oh, well, definitely people walked. That was first. And then they used animals. That was second. And let's see. Oh, they invented the wheel. That was third. And then let's see. Did they do engines or learn to fly? Oh, definitely engines first. And then they learned to fly. So first, people walked. Second, people tamed animals to aid transportation. Third, people invented the wheel. Fourth, people invented engines to be able to move faster. And finally, people learned to fly into the air. Now we're going to go beyond the facts. How does the writer tell us about different means of transportation? Different means of transportation? It could be different methods of transportation, different ways to be transported. A, she talks about transportation in different countries. Well, she didn't really do that. B, she tells us how methods of transportation have changed over the years. Yes, she did tell us that. So that's a possibility. I'm going to put a star there because that's a possibility. C, she tells a story. She didn't really tell us a story. D, she compares the best and worst things about different ways of traveling. No, I don't remember her saying the best and worst things about travel. So the best answer is B. She tells us how methods of transportation have changed over the years. Okay, now we are going to do words and their meanings. This is my favorite part because I love learning new words. Okay, let's see. Ease and well-being. Ease and well-being. Oh, that looks like comfort. Your ease and well-being is your comfort. To connect. When you connect something, oh, you attach it. Okay. A machine that uses energy. In this case, to move something. A machine that uses energy. Oh, an engine. An engine is a machine that uses energy. To create or figure out. To produce for the first time. Oh, that's to invent. When you make something for the first time, you invent it. To make someone feel better. To make somebody feel, oh, comfort. You make them feel better with comfort. To make a wild animal gentle. Oh, that was tame. When you tame an animal, you make him gentle or her gentle. Knowledge of something for the first time. Oh, that's discovery. When you discover something, you get the knowledge of it for the first time. Now, we're not going to do this part because you have another exercise. And that ends our lesson for today. I hope that you had a fabulous time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all again.